Hello guys, we are back with our next set of video series. In this series, we are going to start the next subject. So the subject name is digital electronics, guys. Okay, so first let us go through the syllabus and then we'll be going through a small introduction in this lecture, guys. Okay, yes. So let us start. So basically from this subject you can expect around 7 to 8 marks and 5 to 6 marks. That's just average, guys. So basically every subject will be having the same weightage on average. Okay, yes. So these are the topics, guys, in the syllabus. So we'll be understanding the basics of digital electronics, then following with Boolean algebra, laws and logic gates, then the most important topic will be SOP and POS and minimization, guys. So you can expect a direct question every year it will be coming, guys. Okay, so from this particular topic, like it might be from K-maps, minimization, or SOP or POS. Okay, and similarly from combinational circuits also you'll be expecting a question from sequential circuit and number system. So and number system is also mandatory, guys. So these are all the topics we'll be discussing. And remember one more thing, guys. So after digital electronics we'll be starting a computer organization, guys. So few might be saying that number system and its representation, floating point and everything should be discussed in CO or in digital electronics. So anyway, I'll be discussing those whole concepts in digital electronics only, guys. Okay, yes. Okay, so the standard book which you can follow if you are searching for any kind of textbook will be Morris Mano, guys. So the same book is also for a computer organization also, so he's the same author. Okay, yes. So anyway, if possible, I'll be providing the PDFs because I have them, guys. Okay, yes. Okay, so let us just start. Okay, so before understanding what is digital electronics or what exactly are digital systems and all those things, so first let us understand what are the different types of electronic systems, guys. Okay, so there are majorly two types of systems, guys. So whenever you want to show some kind of electrical thing or electronical thing, so basically if you want to transmit some particular data, so that data should go in a particular format, right? So there are two types of formats, guys. So the first one is analog and the second one is digital, guys. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying these two, because we'll not be discussing anything about analog, guys. The whole subject which we are studying now will be based on this digital only. Okay, so just for our understanding, I'm just giving you a small introduction about these two. So analog system, so in analog system representation or analog representation, a continuous wave is used to denote the information. So basically it will be a sine wave or cos wave, so we will be representing them in that way, right? Yes, so this type of representation is called as an analog representation, guys. Okay, so analog signal is defined as any physical quantity which varies continuously with respect to time. So if you notice here, so if you assume this has the time and this has some kind of value, so it is changing after every some time, right? Yes, so that is a small basic property of analog signals, guys. Okay, yes, so you can take some examples like amplifier, CRO, ECG and etc. Okay, yes. So the second type is nothing but our digital systems, guys. So digital systems are what we'll be studying in this whole course. Okay, yes. Okay, so what exactly are these digital system? So basically whenever there is some particular data, you can represent it in analog system as well as in digital system. So it is possible in both the ways, guys. Okay, yes, but representing or reading this analog system, if it is varying every second, it's really tough, right? So that is the reason why we'll be using this digital systems, guys. So what exactly we will do in digital system is, so assume that this is the voltage, guys, and this is the time. Okay, so whenever the voltage, I'm giving just some small values, guys. Okay, so whenever the voltage is less than 3.3, okay, when it is less than, you will assume it as 0, and whenever it is greater than 3.3, you up to 5, you will assume it as 1. So basically you are going to represent this graph in terms of like this, guys. So basically it will look in this way. So initially it will be 0, then up, then down, then up, then down. So it will look in this way, right? So this is nothing but our digital system representation, guys. So this is nothing but our 0 and this is nothing but our 1. Okay, so this is just an introduction, guys. So anyway, you'll be understanding these kind of things, like what exactly we'll be discussing soon. So don't worry. Okay, yes. So the information is denoted by a finite sequence like 0 and 1, discrete values or digits. Okay, like the best example will be our digital watches, calculator, BP machines and everything, right? Okay, yes. So the advantage of digital system is it is easy to design. Storage for long time and processing of information will be easy. Okay, similarly it will be more accurate because we are going to show in terms of numericals, right? Yes, and there will be precision, so basically you can represent it 99.9 like that, right? Yes, similarly it is modular and the size will be less and the cost will also be less. Okay, yes, and the only disadvantage with this is only analog signal is available in the real world data, so an extra hardware is required to convert digital to analog, or analog to digital. So whenever you want to transmit some data which is in form of digital or in analog, so you need to convert them, guys. So basically if your system is only accepting digital data, so if you are having some analog mic, so basically our mics and everything, they will be taking the input as analog, and for our computer they will be giving it as a digital signal, guys. So there will be some kind of device which is converting these things. Okay, yes, so you got some basic idea, right? So exactly what is the difference between this analog and digital? Okay, yes. So now let us come to our subject, which is nothing but digital electronics, right? Yes. So before going into the understanding of digital electronics, so you need to understand why is this digital systems are that much powerful. Okay, so basically this digital system was completely proposed by George Boolean, guys. Okay, yes, so he is the one who designed that there could be two binary values. So basically we know, right? So it is 0 or 1. So 0 means it is false and 1 means it is true, like according to our computer language. Okay, yes. So mathematical system developed by George Boole in 1854. Okay, so he discovered or he identified that binary 0 and 1 and developed Boolean algebra. So he is the one who designed the Boolean algebra. Okay, guys, anyway we'll be discussing all these Boolean algebra and those some laws and everything, so don't worry. Okay, yes. So Alan Turing in 1936 said everything can be built using zeros and ones. So basically Alan Turing is a scientist, you can say, guys. Okay, yes. So Turing machine and all the concepts in ALC, most of them are designed by him only. Okay, yes. Okay, so this is just some kind of history, you can say, guys. Okay, yes. So in 1938, Sean used logical concepts and designed the digital hardware. So basically in 1854, he gave how they should work. It's like he gave the concept, and Sean is the one who designed them with respect to hardware. Okay, yes. So 0, they say that it is 0 to 1 volts, it is represented with 0 or it is called as low, and similarly it is represented with 1 when it is 3.5 to 5 volts. Got it? Yes. Okay. Okay. So the next concept is nothing but our architecture, guys. So basically this is the architecture which was designed by von Neumann, guys. So it is designed in 1945, and even today this is the exact architecture, like the architecture in the back end which we are using in our computers, guys. Okay, yes. So you will be having a central processing unit. Inside that only you will be having your control unit and arithmetical logic unit, and this is controlled by the input and this will give the output. Okay, and this sometimes it needs memory, right? So where the data will be stored, so that is the reason why it needs memory. So this is the structure, guys. Okay, yes. Okay, so now you got some basic idea, right? So how exactly the digital systems have came into play. So basically how our computer is working. Okay, yes. Okay, so in the next lecture, let us learn how these digital systems are designed, guys. So I'll be taking a small example in the next lecture, guys. So with that you will understand like why did I introduce these kind of some small terminologies and all those things. Okay, yes. So in the next lecture, let us continue with a small example with respect to digital system design, guys. Okay, yes. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Thank you.